Let's talk about another really fascinating distinction, and that is between the direct effects of AI that everybody's talking about right now and the indirect effects that make a huge difference long term.
This is Connect the Dots, the AI Impact Podcast. I'm Christoph Burkhardt. Welcome to the show.
Because even if you're in a field right now that's not disrupted, that's not being affected by AI directly, you are affected by AI in indirect ways. Okay, let's take an example. So you watch movies on Netflix. Of course, Netflix uses a lot of AI in the background to recommend movies to you, to read your preferences, patterns, predictions, feedback. It uses your preferences to produce new videos, new series, new TV shows and movies that are targeted towards you. Now, what happens is if a big player like Netflix starts producing videos that are meant not for a general public, think about a Hollywood blockbuster. Those movies were made to attract the majority of people to go to the movie theater. And that means the movie had to have certain elements that most people have in their set of preferences. Now, Netflix can produce blockbuster movies that are meant just for a smaller target group, but it fits their preferences so perfectly that they're for sure going to watch it and they want more of it. Meaning, we're moving away from a model in which the AI is used to create something that attracts everybody. And instead, it helps us to go to something that we call segment of one, where we target individuals on an individual basis, even with movies and TV shows. Now, what that means is you watching these shows, you don't notice that this stuff is more and more produced just for you, the segment of one. You don't notice that because they do that in the background and they don't show you the stuff that's not meant for you, right? So they only positive test stuff on you. So that means you watch and somehow what happens is your expectation shifts because the next show you watch, you will have certain expectations formed based on your learning history, based on what you've watched before, that the next video is also going to match your preferences. And it's getting better and better. It's getting more customized. It's getting more specific to your preferences. Out of a sudden, you only hear music in the background that matches your musical taste. How is that? Well, you don't think about these things, but you form expectations. And now this is the interesting thing. We take these expectations and we move away from Netflix and we take the expectation that things are meant just for us and we roll this out over our whole life, including our careers and including business. Take an example. If I get an email and I notice that it's not 100% customized to my preferences, to what I'm interested in, to what they know about me as a person, right? Like a business email gets to me. And I notice, well, this sounds like an email that was sent to 100,000 people at the same time. 10 years ago, I would be okay with that because I know this is how marketing automation worked at the time. We sent out mass emails. Well, we're shifting to a world in which mass emails don't work anymore and in which every customer, client, user wants to be targeted as a segment of one. And we learn this because there is AI in the background of Netflix and we form a new expectation and that expectation moves with us to every field. Now, that means emails are not going to work if they're not completely customized, which means this is an indirect effect of AI that falls on your feet because even if you didn't want to use AI, now you need to use AI to rewrite your emails so they're customized. And you can't do that. You can't sit down and write 100,000 emails manually. And everybody knows that you can't do that. Everybody knows you're going to use AI to do that. But if you don't do it, you will send out an email that sounds like from the 90s. And that's not working anymore. So we form expectations, we bring them to a different domain, and in that domain, this expectation creates the pressure to use AI because we can.